Okay, so usually when they give you a sequence, how do you guys determine the pattern? How do you determine whether they are adding stuff, whether they are dividing stuff, like how you determine? That's what I wanted us to look at first, then later we shall look at something else. But I know people already know how to determine. For example, let me put a particular sequence on the board, and then people will tell me the next number and how they are getting it, okay? I'm still using the prototype book, the NCDC prototype book. Okay, so I have a sequence. It has 50, then it has 47. I'm writing in big letters. I hope people can see. Then it has 44. Then it has 41. Then it has 38. So what would be the next number? But before we determine the next number, I want people to tell me the pattern and how they, how they found out the pattern. So we have 50, 47, 44, 41, 38. So is this sequence decreasing or increasing?
So it's decreasing.
It is decreasing. And if it's decreasing, I think there are only two things we can do. You remember there are 4 operations in mathematics. There is addition, there is subtraction, there is multiplication, and there is division. Now, 2 of these operations increase things, and then 2 of them decrease things. I hope you get what I mean by increase and decrease things. For example, addition, whenever you're adding anything, it will keep increasing, at least as far as O level is concerned. Then when you look at multiplication, whenever you multiply, things keep increasing. Then even subtraction and division, things reduce. So when you realize that your sequence is decreasing, then you have 2 options. You either have subtraction or division. So I'm seeing some answers in the chat room. Then I think there was a hand. Okay, so Flo says her next number is 35 and she was subtracting. Flo, what were you subtracting? And how did you find out that you're supposed to subtract this particular number? Then Jemima says we are decreasing by 3. That means it's decreasing by 3. That means she's subtracting 3. Okay, let's see. I want someone to give me an answer, like with their microphone. And you explain to me how you found the pattern. Anyone? Okay. Yes, Mason.
Teacher, first of all, the numbers were decreasing. So I first got the first number 50 minus 47 to find the number in between, the number that moved from 50 to 47. When I got 3, then I got 3. Then I got 47 minus 44. Then I got 3, 2. Then I got 44 minus 41. Then I got 3. Then I got 41 minus 38. Then again I got 3. So I just knew it was taking.
When you realize that whenever you subtract each pair, you have the
minus 3 as its pattern.
Okay, thank you, Mason. Okay, so this is what I wanted to check. I wanted to check whether people are sure about how you do it. And sometimes it's not just a particular number. Sometimes you'll find that when you subtract the first 2, you get 3, but when you subtract the second, you get 2. Then when you subtract that pair, you get 1. It may just be a decreasing sequence, or there may be alternating between 2 numbers, like 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. It could be anything really. So usually what you do once you realize that your sequence is decreasing, you try out either division or subtraction. Then if you realize that your sequence is increasing, you try either addition or multiplication. So now that I'm sure that people know that, I'm going to put an exercise. And if you pass the whole exercise, then we shall go to the next thing. Is anyone still lost on how to get the pattern? You can ask a question in particular. Sometimes it's very obvious to see what number they are subtracting and what number they are adding or multiplying by. But the best way is to deal with each pair, because sometimes you won't have definite numbers. Sometimes you have decimals, sometimes you have fractions, you know. So you need to be sure about what number they are adding. So let me put this exercise, then we try it out. I'm going to expect at least more people to participate, because it's a very simple exercise just to start us off in the lesson. I'm going to put it here. Okay, so for you, when you finish any of them, you put up your hand. I'll be choosing for just at random. Also, when you give me your answer, you tell me your pattern. You tell me, are they adding, are they subtracting, are they dividing? This is 6.5 in case it's not very clear. There are quite many. Let's first work with the 5 of them. So let me add 2 more. So this should be okay, I'm already seeing some hands. That's good. Okay, so after we revise all these things, we shall see how we apply these things in real life, because someone may ask, but teacher, how are these things going to help us? Okay, so let me get people's answers. Yes, Regina, which sequence are you working on? They are labeled according to the alphabet. Part A, okay. So part A, what's our next number here? Regina, what's our next number?
78.
78.
78.
And what's the pattern in this sequence?
I'm adding 12.
You are adding 12. Eh?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Skylar also says it's 78, even Melissa, 78, even Shaima, yes, she was adding 12. Okay, I hope that is clear. Let's go to B. Sequence B. It's okay if you want to like skip B and give me the answer to like maybe C or E. Yes, Patricia.
Teacher, part B is 71 pattern plus 6.
Part B is 71.
Pattern plus 6.
Okay, the pattern is plus 6. And your
Teacher,
next
I
number
don't
is 71. Okay, I think Patricia did not see the decimals, right?
Yes.
Okay, because this is 4.1, this is 4.7, this is 3.3, sorry, 5.3, this is 5.9, this is 6.5. But I think without the decimals, the 71 would be correct. Thank you, Patricia. Does someone else want to try part B or any part? Is part B hard? Okay. Melissa says 12.5. Yes, Shifra.
For me, the sequence is increasing. I add 0.6 to everything. So I get my last answer as 7.1.
7.1. Okay, I have different answers. Melissa has 12.5. Shifra has 7.1. Does anyone else have a different answer? So we have 7.1. We also have 12. Okay, even Shaima has 7.1. Shaima, thank you. Yes, Marini. Okay, even
I was
Sky
going to
has
do part C.
7.1. Okay. Okay, so let me conclude with part B, then you give me the answer to part C. Okay. So when you look at this sequence, yes, it is increasing. So they must have been adding something. They must have been adding something or multiplying by something. So you do the same thing. You get the difference between 4.7 and 4.1. When you subtract this, you get 0.6. Then you look at the next one. You say, what is 5.3 minus 4.7? Then you go to the next one. What is 5.9 minus 5.3? Shifra, do you get it? No, sorry, it wasn't Shifra. It was Shaima. Sorry, not Shaima. It was who? Melissa. Yes, Melissa. Melissa, do you get it? What's your name and your class? Okay, if you disagree with that answer, you can ask, you say, but teacher, me, my pattern is this, and this is my answer. Why is it wrong? So, Mary, will you give me the one for part C?
For part C, I got the pattern that were adding 6, and so 8, 14, 20, 26, 32, 38.
So this is 26.
So the ones which you are missing were 26 and 38.
Okay, thank you. Let me see the chat. Okay, yes, Shema says we add 6. Okay, thank you guys. Part B. Patricia, your hand is still up, so I'm not sure if you just forgot to put it up or whether you're putting it up for like another sequence. Then I want other people to participate. Paula, today you're quiet. Megan, Louise. You can't tell me that you people all don't know the answers here. At least by now you've seen how we are getting them. Shirat, Yusra, Shamsa. We want to hear your voices also. Part D. So I think I can remove this. Is it okay if I remove this? The ones we've finished.
No.
Okay. Part D. It seems part D is hard for people. Okay, since part D they only gave us 2 pairs, we are going to try and use those two to see the pattern. So what is 11 minus 3? Because since it is increasing,
8.
we will definitely add. What is it?
8.
8.
8.
Okay, I'm seeing some. Marilyn, are you
I
giving
was
it?
it. Yes.
Okay.
For part D, I got 19, and then the other answer is 43.
43.
19 and 43.
You have 19 and 43. Regina, you have that answer? 19 and 43. Regina, I want to hear your answer. Regina, has she gone up?
So it's the same.
It's the same.
It's
Okay.
the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Melissa has told us we are adding 8. Even Chelly Modoka says we are adding 8. Okay. That you people delayed, so I thought it was hard. I was going to do it. So let's see if it flows. Plus 8. Okay, plus 8, 19. Plus 8, 27. Plus 8. Okay. But all these sequences are easy. We are adding 1 kind of number. But we are going to look at another one. I have some interesting questions. The ones that are not so obvious. So I think for the book, we are going to stop on this one because it seems they just have the same pattern. Okay, the answer for part E. Yes, Jemima.
Teacher, I didn't understand part B.
Pardon?
I didn't understand part B.
Part D. D or B?
B.
B. Okay, we are going to go through part B. Let's first get the answer of part E.
Yes.
Okay, part E, anyone? Yes, Azra?
Add 0.14.
Okay, even Shelly Modoka says they are adding 0.14. Okay, and what is my next number after 3.98?
It's 4 point.
What people have forgotten how to add this one?
4.12.
4.12? Like that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So yes, okay, Flo has the same answer, Dorcas has the same answer. So since Jemima didn't understand part B, I'm going to remove everything except part B and part E because they are similar, part B and part E. So I'm assuming that the issue is with decimals. So I'm going to leave these sequences that have decimals. But like I said, sometimes they are decimals, but sometimes they can also bring fractions. So you always ask yourself, okay, sometimes when you do these things of subtraction, addition, you may not see the pattern. When you don't see the pattern using subtraction or division, then you try multiplication or I confused there. If you don't see a pattern when you use addition and subtraction, then you use multiplication and division. So basically it's try and error. Because why is it try and error? Because this sequence, someone just put it here, we don't know. Later on in the coming lessons, we shall generate our own sequences and we will have reason. For example, you may generate a sequence of you people will come up with things. You may generate a sequence of like maybe the number of people that report to a particular school, the number of people who maybe get expelled, anything like that. And then for you, you'll be able to tell because you've come up with a sequence, but these sequences, I've just put them on the board. You don't even know where I've got them from. I've just put a sequence. So you are just trying to think, and you're like, did this person add? Did this person multiply? So that's why it is try and error. You just keep trying and you see till you come up with a particular pattern that you can follow. So here, when you realize that your sequence is increasing or decreasing, of which in this case it was increasing, then you want to find out what were they adding or what were they multiplying by. So let's first use the addition part. To find out what they were adding, you keep getting the number in front minus the number before. The number in front minus the number before. The number in front minus the number before. So here we have 4.7 minus 4.1 minus 4.1. We are subtracting. Is that clear? Is this part clear? Or like, can you see it clear? Okay. And you remember how to someone is asking Jemima to mute. Thank you, Jemima. Okay, so you remember how to subtract or do any operations on decimals. You deal with the numbers after the decimals first, and then you come this side. So we are going to deal with 7 minus 1 first, and 7 minus 1 is 6. The decimal remains where it is. So 4 minus 4 is 0. So here they added 0.6. Then you go to the next pair. To find out what they added to 4.7 to get 5.3, you say 5.3 minus 4.7. And it's the same thing. You first deal with the numbers after the decimal. But when you look at the numbers after the decimal, here the 3 is less than the 7. So you borrow. People call it borrowing. You borrow 1, so it becomes 13. 13 minus 7, 6. Then still again this side you have 4 minus 4, which is 0. That means even here they added 0.6. Jemima, are you getting it? Jemima, are you getting it now? Then you come to the next pair.
Yes,
Same thing, you say 5.9 minus 5.3. I advise you people to always check the whole pattern and check all the numbers, because sometimes for the first pairs, they will add 0.6. Then for the next pairs, they maybe add 0.7. Then the next pairs, like you have to check and make sure you have a full flow up to the next number. So even here, when you subtract 5.9 minus 5.3, you get 0.6, meaning that even here they added 0.6. Then you also check the last one. You check it by saying 6.5 minus 5.9. Still you carry 15 minus 9 is 6, 0.6. That is how we found out the pattern. So after you have confirmed that they kept on adding 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, to get the next number here, you say 6.5 plus 0.6. And then you add 5 plus 6 is 11. So you write 1. The decimal remains in its position. You carry the 1 here. And then 6 plus 1 is 7. But then I've used the normal adding because these are small numbers. But if they are big, you can just, even if they are small, you are allowed to use calculators. So you can just put to the calc instead of going through all this work. You can just keep subtracting this minus this. Then you write the number here. This minus this, you write the number there. Jemima, have you got it now?
Yes, teacher, thank you.
Okay. If anyone else has a question, you can ask. You can ask at any point. Even if I've already wrapped the number, you can ask teacher that number you wrapped, you ask at any point. Then I also advise people, when we are working out numbers on the board, even if it seems very obvious, you work it out yourself, because sometimes when someone is doing the number on the board, it seems very easy. And then when you try it out, it refuses. So don't wait to try it out when we are doing activity of integration. You try it out here. Yes, Ashley?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, Ashley?
I joined late and I'm not understanding.
Okay. Okay, that's okay. Because we are still looking at like more similar numbers. So I think you'll be able to catch up. You're welcome, by the way. So you joined this week?
Yes.
Okay, okay. We haven't studied much. We've only had like 2 math lessons and we haven't studied much really. So there is nothing to worry about. Okay, so now we are going to, Jemima, are you okay with part E?
Yes,
Okay,
teacher.
does anyone, pardon? Okay, just to be sure, let me put another one that has decimals. So that would be F. So this is 10. This is 9.5. Then you have 9. Then you have 8.5. So here they mixed it up a bit. We have whole numbers and decimals. Then you have 8. So just to be sure that people have got it, then we put that up. But then the things in the book are so, like they are the same. So let me get, as you do this one, let me get for you some examples that are not. So today is going to be more of a discussion. That's why I need you guys to keep, keep talking to me. You give me your answers, you give me your arguments, you give me your questions. Hey, I already have an answer. Ashley, do you understand how these people are getting their answers? Because Joeria has got 7, Kalima has got 7, Dorcas has got 7, I've already said Joeria, Marilyn says they are subtracting 0.5. Yes, Shifra.
I was just liking to explain how I got 7.
Okay, you explain to us. Then Shirat has got that.
We first get the difference between 10 and 9.5, and the difference is 0.5. Then we keep on subtracting 0.5 from each number, and then we end up with 7.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there is something that I want you people to be able to do, because I know some of you only subtract the first 2 and then you leave it at that. But that's not what I want people to do. But the only way I can help you guys do what I want people to do is by giving you examples that require you to find the pattern of the whole thing. So let me get some numbers here. I had actually posted them on the e-learning program, platform, but I didn't tell you guys to do them. So we can do them now. Where did they go? Okay, so I've got it. So let me put some on the board. We discussed them. The reason why I'm only insisting on this thing is because I'm actually going to give an activity of integration after, and I want people to write something sensible. Because you see, you can just cram it. You can just cram and say, I always add or subtract or divide. But then you also need to know that this is try and error. It could really be anything. You may even be, okay, so let me put one. There is this one. This will be our DFG. So we have 3. This is -5, and then we have 7. -9, and then we have 11. And I want you to find the next one. So you try that one out. Let me write the others. So still you can put up and say, I'm answering G, I'm answering A. This one like that. This one really have what I want to bring out. Like you, it's not cram work. I'm happy that some people can already answer such. HI. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now who hasn't given an answer? Rihanna, your hand was up. Why have you put it down? Rihanna, yeah, that's I was going to choose you. Now what should I do? Okay, yes, Dorcas, which one are you attempting?
I'm answering part G.
Part G,
So when we notice that the numbers are odd numbers, like the first one is a positive, then the next one is a negative, then a positive, but they're all odd numbers. Then, okay, after 11, we have -13.
Okay, so you're saying your next one is -13.
Yes, because they're all odd numbers.
Okay, thank you, Dorcas. Yes, Rihanna. Okay, that is what. Okay, first way, Diana, I first comment. Chelimo, that is one way of telling the pattern. It's not a must, but you have to first always check. Sometimes they are odd numbers, sometimes they are triangular numbers, sometimes they are years. For example, if they bring 2001, 2002, and they tell you to put the next one, obviously it is 2003. Like that's what I want people to know, because that is what you apply. Yes, Rihanna, you also tell me your pattern. I'm not saying Chelimo's answer is correct, and I'm not saying it's wrong. But her pattern is correct, because it is true that those are odd numbers and they just kept interchanging the signs. If 3 is positive, 5 is negative. If 7 is positive, the 9 is negative. If 11 is positive, and she has said her next answer is -13. Yes, Rihanna?
I wanted to answer H.
Hey, so you wanted to answer H. Okay, Marilyn, which one are you answering?
I wanted to try I.
Hey, you people agree with her answer, eh?
No, I also had another method, but it came up with the same answer.
Okay, I want to hear your pattern.
Okay, for part G, this work I did it on the e-learning platform, so I got
you saw it.
Yeah, and I did it and I submitted.
Okay.
So I got -8 plus 12 minus 16 plus 20 minus 24 to come up with 13.
Now that is also a pattern. It's a flow. So you can have different patterns, but you end up with the same. So Rihanna wanted to answer H. Yes, Rihanna.
Teacher, I also did the work. So I found out that the
Brian, I've not heard what you've said. I think maybe it's microphone issues or network. No, I think it's the microphone. Can you guys hear
there were
Rihanna?
odd numbers. Like
Okay. Okay, thank you. Shamsa wants us to repeat the pattern for G.
the pattern for
Rihanna, please, I'm going to request you to type your submission because I've failed to get what you're trying to say. I don't know if the other people are getting it, but me, I've failed to get it. Then Shamsa wants us to repeat the pattern. Shamsa, you can use the normal way we've been doing of subtracting or adding, or you can just, what do they call it? They call it examining. You can examine, you look through, you like, what common thing do they have? Because remember, we say patterns are usually a common behavior. So you look at them, when you look at them, you can tell that they are odd numbers, but they are interchanging the signs. The first odd number is 1. Okay, they left it out, but this is the first one is 3. They put a positive. The second one is 5. They put a negative. 7 positive. So negative. Then this is positive. So the next odd number had a negative.
excuse me, teacher. Hear me now.
Yes, I can hear you, Rihanna. Now I can't hear you. Okay. Let me, who hasn't answered? Louise, which one are you answering?
I'm answering H.
H, okay.
H,
I was saying
square numbers.
I found
For H, they are square numbers because you multiply a number by itself. When you multiply, beginning with 1 times 1, you get 1. 2 times 2, you get 4. 3 times 3, you get 9. 4 times 4, you get 16. 5 times 5, you get 25. So the next is 6 times 6 is 36. That's the next 25. Then you get 7 times 7, which is 49.
Okay, thank you. So here in this sequence, they were multiplying the normal counting numbers by themselves. So that is one way you can look at it. Or you can just look at the general behavior and you're like, what numbers are these? These are square numbers. And I know they forced people to cram the square numbers in your primary. People usually know what number comes after the other. So you can see that they are saying 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. Then you know the next one is 36 and the next one is 49. Okay. I wanted people who haven't answered to answer. People like who? People like Provia, people like who? People like Crystal, people like Daniela, people like Megan, because this is a discussion. This is not something new. People like Janet, yeah, you try. Okay, let me see who I should choose. So for part I, okay, Dorcas, yes, Dorcas.
I'm answering part I. So we start by saying 2 plus 2 is equals to 4, then 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 8, 16, 16 plus 16 is 32. So we get 32 out of 3 plus 3, 9, 9 plus, 3 times 3, 9, 9 times 9, 27, 27 times 27, 81, 81 times 81, 6,561. So the answer is 32 out of 6,561.
Okay, wait, are you multiplying the numbers down by 3 or by themselves? Because it's like I've heard you saying.
I'm multiplying the numbers. Okay, the numbers up. The numbers down. I'm multiplying them by themselves.
These ones are multiplying them by themselves. 3 times 3, 9 times 9, 27 times 27, 81 times 81. Eh?
Yes.
Then the ones up.
Okay, teacher, let me first correct myself.
Okay, I'm glad you have seen it.
I'm multiplying them by 3, the numbers down.
Okay, you're multiplying the numbers down by 3?
Yes.
Then the numbers up by 2?
4 times. Yeah, by 2.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Marilyn?
I was going to say that when she was saying the wrong method, I was going to say that that was wrong. The lower numbers multiply by 3, the upper ones, I got +2, +4, +6, +8, giving us 24 out of 243.
Okay. What about Nuriat? Yeah, I was going to choose Nuriat and she put her hand down. Nuriat, you give me your submission, yes?
Me.
Pardon? I've not heard you properly. I don't know if the other people have heard you. Okay, thank you for your submission. Who hasn't given me an answer? Okay, yes, Maysoon.
Teacher, I just wanted to explain to those just in case they did not get how we got the 32 out of 243.
How do you explain?
If you look at the numerators, if you look at the numerators patterns, it is 2, 4. Actually, starting from 1, it is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So if you look carefully, it's 1 times 2, which gives, then 2 times 2, which gives you 4. Then 4 times 2, which gives you 8. 8 times 2, which gives you 16, and 16 times 2, which gives you 32, which is the answer, which is the numerator for the answer. Then you go to the denominators where you get 1 times 3, which gives you 3. Then you go to 3 times 3, which gives you 9. Then you go to 9 times 3, which gives you 27, and 27 times 3, which gives you 81. Then it's 81 times 3, which gives you 243.
Okay. Brianna, your hand is up.
Then the answer is 32 out of 20.
Do you disagree with this? Do you have a different pattern?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes,
I used a different method.
And you got the answer, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, you're going to share with us your pattern.
I used 1 times 2/3. I also did
2/3. So for you, I'm multiplying through by 2/3, times 2 out of 3.
Yes, 2/3 times 2/3, like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct. It is actually the same as those people, but what? But here you are dealing with the fraction at once. Okay, but yes. I think people are getting my point. Like sometimes there are, okay, not sometimes, most times there are many ways to get to the same answer. So I want people to be able to come up with your own way. You examine for yourself, and you now someone had their hand up. Was it Rihanna? You can ask whatever you wanted to ask. Was it? I think it was. I've forgotten. But I hope maybe whatever you wanted to say or whatever you wanted to ask has been cleared out. Okay, so I'm glad that people can do that. If you still have any questions, please, you can ask. If you don't, then I can what? I can confidently say that people have understood the general rule of finding the next number, or the general rule of the pattern. It's not always obvious. Sometimes they will even bring triangular numbers. Now, when you look at things like triangular numbers, if you try to subtract or add, you will not get a flow. You will not get a flow because the first one you add 3, the second one you add 3, then the next one you add more than 3. So you'll find that you're not finding a pattern. So you have to know at the back of your mind, you have to know the numbers you covered. I know you covered those numbers, not so. Under numbers and what? I think under number patterns. Somewhere in first term, I think before you even went home, you looked at natural numbers, you looked at triangular numbers, square numbers, even numbers, odd numbers. So you're supposed to know those things. They're supposed to be at your fingertips because sometimes they'll bring a sequence and you cannot get the pattern by using the operations. You have to know the thing, okay? Ashley, I hope you've caught up with us. If you've not, you can always ask. The Ashley that had just joined us, what was it? I think she has gone now. Galaxy, yeah? Yeah, but this one is we've done it. So as we do these things, you should try to look around you and see some of the sequences around you, because later I'll ask you to come up with your own sequences and you explain the pattern and you even tell me how you're going to use that sequence. Let me add one from here. This one is very easy. Okay. So you just give me answers to those and we close. We call it a day. Then in the next lesson, we shall start seeing how we actually apply this in real life. How you can come up with your own sequence, those things. Yes, but you people, it's the same people answering. Hannah, you give an answer. People like, yes, Alicia. Did I even
teacher.
say your name right?
For part A, I first subtracted 2 from 4 to get 2. Added plus 2. And for the next one, I added plus 4 to get 8. Then the next I added even numbers.
Oh, okay. So what's the one here?
Teacher.
Yes. I told you there is no wrong pattern as long as it has a flow. The moment you realize your pattern has a flow, then you use it. Okay? I hope you know what I mean by flow. Okay, yes, Alicia, what's the last number? Okay, Alicia,
I've not found out yet.
Pardon?
I've not yet got the answer.
So I give you some time. Okay, let me give you some time.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, Purity.
Good morning.
Good morning.
For sequence 1, I was doubling the number before to get the next. So 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, then 32, then 64.
So you could see, for her she was doubling, Alicia was adding even numbers. As long as your pattern has a flow, you go with that. Because the way we are going to be asking you questions, for you explain your pattern. When you explain your pattern and it has a flow, then you have all the marks. So there is no need for cram work. Yes, Joeria. I know people have different flows for part A, as long as you get those two. Yes, Joeria. Which one are you answering? B, C, or D?
I looked at the number. I'm just explaining about it.
I've not got you, Joeria.
I'm multiplied times 2 times 2 times 2.
Okay. So for you're saying for part A, okay. So for part A you are saying times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, that is correct also. It's the same as whose? I think it's the same as Purity's. Remember, multiplying by 2 is the same as doubling. Yes, Marilyn, which one are you giving me?
I was going to do part B. So plus 1.5 plus 2.5 plus 3.5, then you come up with 7.5. Plus 4.5, you'll come up with 12. Plus 5.5, you'll come up with 18.
So this is 7.5 and this is 18.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys realize that in this case, the pattern was just increasing. It was not, they were not adding a particular number, it was just increasing. So sometimes, okay, usually if they give you such a sequence, they'll give you many numbers so that at least you see how it is increasing. Is it increasing by 2? Is it increasing by 1.2? Like that. Okay, part C. At least one of you should give me the answer for part D. I put part D for people who fear giving wrong answers, because part D is obvious. People like who? People like Precious, people like Miracle. Anyone can give me part D. Or I give the answer myself. Yes, Nuriat. Okay, please what? Please type. Ainembabazi Barbara. Ainembabazi Barbara, what's the next number in part D? What's the next number in part D?
0.
0. Thank you. You are shy for nothing. I think today even the boys did come, but you are shy. Okay. Yes, Nuriat also had 0. Yes, Melissa.
Sir, could you please repeat B? I did not understand.
Okay. Who gave the answer to part B?
Marilyn.
Okay, Marilyn, please explain to Melissa. But I think
So
the reason why you know is because I didn't write that. So let me write
it's
this.
so when we add 0 and then you'll see your next number is 1.5, we have added 1.5. In order for you to get 4, I subtracted 1.5 from 4 and then I got 2.5. For you to get the next number, you add 3.5 because the number is increasing and you get 7.5. From there you add then after you get 12. From 12 you add 4.5 and then you come up with 18. From 18 you add 5.8. From 0, 1.5, 1.5 to 4 is 2.5, 4.5 to 7.5 is 3.5, 7.5 to 12 is 4.5, then 12 to 18 is 5.5. Yeah, it's correct.
I hope now it's clear. Melissa?
Yes.
Okay, it was just an increasing sequence. Like sometimes you keep adding an increasing pattern. You may even be adding the first one, you add 1, the second one you add 2, the second one you add 3, or you may be adding a particular pattern. You may be adding square numbers. Together, first one you add 1, together, second one you add 4, together, second one, the third one you add 9, like that. I think people want to give me part C. Yes, yes, who? Yes, Mason. Yes, Mason.
Teacher, I just had a question with part B. I'm getting 17.5, not 18.
Here she added 3.5 to get. Oh, you're saying here. She added 12 plus 5.5. But now this 12 will be 2.0, 17.5. Okay. Thank you for the correction. I know some people had also seen it, but some people fear talking in class, so they just keep quiet. What about part C? Does anyone want to try for part C? It's even past time, you people. Does anyone want to try for part C before we do it? So let me remove this. Okay, let's first try to examine. When you examine, is there any particular flaw? I don't think so. They are not even numbers, they are not odd numbers, they are not what? Not so. So, oh, okay. Yes, Martha?
They were adding, in order to get the sequence, you're supposed to keep on adding 4 to the numbers which you subtract, like 7 minus 1, 6, 17 minus 7, 10, 31 minus 17, 14, 49 minus 31, 18, 71 minus 41. So those numbers which you add to get the answers, in order to find their flow, you're supposed to keep on adding 4.
Okay. So for the first one, you got 6. For the second, you got 10. So from here, you have a difference of 4. So you just kept on adding a pattern that has this flow of +4. So here you added 14, right? Let me see, 17 plus 14. Here you have 11, so you have 31. So if you get 31 here, now here you have to add 18, because 14 plus 4 is 18. So when you add 18, yes, you get 49. Okay, so that can work, but I'm sure people have many other patterns. So here you would add what? What is 18 plus 4? This is 2, 1, 22. So here we would add 22. So 49 plus 22, 9, 10, 11, 7. Okay. Then in the chat room, someone was saying they look like triangular numbers. No, these are not triangular numbers. They're not triangular numbers. Does anyone have any other pattern apart from this one? No? You write this, you write that sequence down. I want you guys to think about that pattern, and I want to get different answers next time. Okay? Is that okay?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, we shall keep reminding people that with the new syllabus, you people are supposed to do most of the thinking, because if we just keep giving you things, people will just either cram or, I don't know, we want to encourage you to think. So at least you think about it. Victoria has thought about it, and that's what she has come up with. So you also think about it and say, is there any other way I can come up with such a thing? Okay, since I've told you, Shifra wanted us to repeat, see, but we are out of time. But since I've told you that you should think about it, you write it down and think about it. Then next time we shall start from there. By next time is Thursday. Is that okay? Aren't you people tired? Okay, let me just repeat it. But no, if I repeat it, people won't think. You think about it. You think about it. Like, she subtracted here, she got 6. Then here, she got 10. And then from here, she was like, what's the difference between 6 and 10? The difference is 4. Remember, it is try and error. Then she was like, hey, okay. So what if I keep adding 4 to my pattern? Because we're using a pattern to find the next numbers in the sequence. So now she's like, what if I keep adding 4? Because from 6 to 10, they added 4. And she was like, okay, what if I add 4 to 10? I'll get 14. So 14 plus 17, I hope people are following. This is just the pattern. These are the numbers we are adding. So 17 plus 14, we got 31. Then of course you don't first write it immediately. You first put it somewhere. Then you're like, so if I'm following this pattern, what is 14 plus 4? It is 18. When I add 18, do I come to 49? When you add 18 and you come to 49, then your pattern has a flow. I don't mean flow F-A-L. I mean flow, like it flows. So the moment you realize that when you add the 18, you come to 49, then now you can write your 31 and confirm. And then here, 49, you add 4 to 18 to know what you add to 49. So for 18 plus 4 is 22. Then to get the next number, you add 22 to 49 to get the 71. Have we now got it, the people in the chat? You know. Joeria, you have something to say? Regina and Halima, I hope you've got it. And Shifra. Okay, I think people have got it. But then please don't stick to this one. You think of your own patterns. Start practicing now. By the time you reach activity of integration, you even do it during the lesson.
Yes, teacher.
As we are going through the question for you, you even answer. Okay, Kali, let's end our lesson here. Barbara, what were you saying yes to? Okay, maybe it was a mistake. Okay, so see you guys on Thursday. For those that went and attempted that work, I'm going to mark it first, since it's most recent. I'm going to mark it before I mark the things that what? Okay. Okay, I'm glad the people that had asked me to repeat have got it. Okay. Kali, nice day. Let me go and have breakfast. Me, I haven't eaten. I know you ate breakfast from Cafe Java's. Me, I'm going to make bushera. Let me go and make my bushera. I drink. You see this COVID life. Munangi, you have to hustle. After teaching, you go and look for what to eat. So,
Have a nice breakfast, teacher.
Isabel, okay, you say hello to her too. But people should stop coming for lessons when you're hungry, especially math lessons. Math lessons are not for the hungry, please. Always eat before. Okay? You will reach and then you will fail.
Yes, teacher.
Always eat. Kali, see you guys on Thursday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.